Hello and welcome back to Simple-ESL, and today in this lesson we are going to look at how we make and respond to suggestions. By the end of this lesson you'll be able to use different phrases to make suggestions politely and effectively. We'll know how to respond in the correct way to these suggestions, and we will discuss problems and offer advice and suggestions. So let's get on with the lesson. Now, why is this important? Well, making suggestions or giving your opinion, your ideas, is a really important skill in both social and professional work situations. It can help with solving problems and making decisions. And it's a good idea to learn how to suggest these ideas politely, as this can improve relationships and communication with colleagues, school friends, people like that. So, when was the last time that you gave an idea, made a suggestion? How did the other person respond? Did you do it in a polite way? And was it positive? So, a common way to make suggestions, we have using should. So this is a soft way of giving an idea. So we could say, you should try taking a break. We have you with the subject, should, and then the advice. Try taking a break. Maybe you should talk to your manager. We have could, similar to should, could, and used in a similar way. You could consider a different approach. How else could we use this? We could use it in a question. Could you ask for help? Could you ask for help? This is a soft way of making a suggestion or giving an idea about how one can solve a problem. So we have using questions. I use the question with could. Why don't you try a new strategy? So instead of giving the solution to the problem or trying to solve the problem, we give another question and we use a question mark at the end of the sentence. Why don't you try a new strategy? What if you talk to an expert? There's our question mark there. So we can also make formal suggestions. This is where we give a solution to the problem. So making a more formal suggestion, I would recommend focusing on your tasks. It might be a good idea to seek advice. When would we use these? If I was talking to a friend, would I recommend focusing on your tasks? No, I think I would use this at work, at school, in a professional situation. So knowing how to form your suggestions and what you should be saying really depends on the situation. Now, how can we respond to these suggestions? Someone has given us advice, some good ideas, ways we can respond positively. That's a great idea. That is a great idea. I'll give that a try. Or I'll give it a try. And you can thank the person for their idea, for their suggestion. Thanks for the suggestion, or thank you for the suggestion. These are ways we can respond in a positive, a good way to the ideas that people are giving us. But what if the advice is bad? We still want to be polite, but maybe we don't want to use that idea. So what could we say? And practice these at home. We could say, I'm not sure if that would work, but thank you, or but thanks. So to make it polite, we will always say thank you or thanks for the idea. That's an interesting idea, but I think I'll try something else. So saying it's interesting, saying it's a good idea, but it's not right for me. That is an interesting idea, but I think I'll try something else. And in a similar fashion, I appreciate your input, but I have a different plan in mind. To appreciate something means that you value it, you think it's good. So saying you appreciate their idea, but I'm not going to use it. These are polite ways to decline someone's advice. So let's try this matching gap fill exercise. I would like us to fill in the blank with the best response. So you try making a daily to-do list. You could say you might try making a daily to-do list. But I think the best one here, should. You should try making a daily to-do list. Let's try another one. Blank, you considered asking a colleague for help. So we could try why don't. Why don't you considered? With ed, we know it's going to have to use the past. It's got the verb with ed at the end. Why don't won't work. Have you considered asking a colleague for help? Blank, you talk to your teacher about your concerns. We can say, might you talk to your teacher about your concerns? But I think the best answer here, why don't you talk to your teacher about your concerns? And the final one, I think you focus on one task at a time. Only one option left. I think you might focus on one task at a time. I think you might. So this is a nice way that you could maybe say to a friend about how they should address a problem. I think you might. A bit of an extra task for you here. I would like you to try this writing task. Can you write 3 suggestions, 3 ideas to solve the following problem? So my problem, I always feel stressed before exams. Try by yourselves to write 3 suggestions. Here are my examples. You should try creating a study schedule. Why don't you take short breaks while studying? It might be a good idea to practice meditation. So we can see here the examples that we have used throughout are used in these suggestions. So when forming these, try using should, might, why don't. So let's try matching the problems with the suggestions. Now we have our problems down the left-hand side. So we have, I am having trouble focusing while working from home. I don't know how to improve my English writing. I always forget important deadlines. I don't have any energy, or I don't have enough energy during the day. I can't decide which career to pursue. And we have our suggestions down the side here. If you're having trouble focusing while working from home, what could you do? We could try writing English every day? No. Could talk to a counsellor? Healthy meals? A daily schedule might help. But the best option, what if you set up a distraction-free workspace? So we have, what if, and then the advice following that. Now, if you wanted to improve your English, what should you do? You should try writing in English every day. Maybe try the exercise we just went over. I always forget important deadlines. We could say, why don't you create a daily schedule? If you don't have enough energy during the day, what could we do? Have you? We could say, have you considered eating healthier meals? This might give you more energy. And the final one, you might want to talk to a career counselor. So these are more examples of how we can solve problems and give suggestions in a polite way. Now we have a bit of a role-playing activity here. I'm going to describe a problem and I would like you to suggest solutions to that problem. You can use at least 3 of the suggestion phrases. I could, I should, you should, you might, uh, I would recommend. These are all suggestion phrases. Now, one problem I have this morning, and you most probably heard it in the background, my dog keeps barking. So here's a problem. How could I stop my dog from barking? I could go to the dog and give it a cuddle. I should put the dog in the garden. What could I do to solve the problem? So here are your examples. I can't find time to exercise. What could I, should I, might I do? I'm having trouble saving money. I don't know how to improve my English speaking skills. Well, we can solve that one. I would like you to practice listening, speaking, and using polite responses with people. So if you have friends or family who can speak English, try practicing your English speaking skills and give them advice and suggestions. So what are our key takeaways? What have we learnt today? Well, we learned different ways of making suggestions and using modal verbs, questions, and formal structures. So this is I could, you should, he might. These are the structures we use and how to respond to suggestions politely. Thank you for that advice, or thanks for that advice. How to apply these in real life situations. So today, I have had lots of issues with my dog barking at the postman. But we have found solutions to these real life situations. And what I would like you to do, I would like you to practice making suggestions in different real life situations. And in the next lesson, we'll be giving advice and recommendations. So we're going to continue to build on this. If you would like some more practice, use the QR code below or in the description, and you can get more lessons and worksheets from our Patreon page. Thank you once again for joining us, and we'll see you in the next lesson. Have a wonderful day.